Welcome to RecWatch TV. Planet Earth is 71% water, and we've been trying to tame the waves for millennia. They say there are 3 million shipwrecks out there, but so far all we found is less than 0.5%. Join RecWatch TV as we explore the world's ocean for sunken history, treasure, and the special people who go looking for it. We share the latest finds in Seven Seas news and meet intrepid explorers in our Sunken Lives series. From on the beach, we visit exhibitions and everything with a watery vibe. We'll bring you the latest must-read books and don't miss films. We test the best new tech, from dive gear to submersibles. The truth is out there, and deep down, we care. Hi, this is RecWatch TV, and he's Chris Atkins.
And he is Dr. Sean Kingsley.
And this is a really exciting moment because we are about to launch RecWatch TV off the back of a magazine which I founded. And the idea was that there's so much politics and, people taking the sea and shipwrecks very seriously these days. And Chris and I, we wanted to rewind the clock and go back to those glory years of beauty and romance and mystery about the oceans, the Jacques Cousteau years. What do you reckon, Chris?
Sean, there's nothing more exciting than diving on a shipwreck, whether you're finding it for the first time or it's been there for a while and you're a sport diver who's getting to explore. I know that I am really excited when I get a chance to dive on a shipwreck.
It's really funny, isn't it? Because there's so much excitement and beauty about, this coral bed is just so beautiful, and the fish and the purity and the innocence about it. But that's never really translated to shipwrecks. And I think that's something that we really want to do. Shipwrecks is something that it's really hard to write about. It's hard to write about archaeology. It's something that you have to see. And, nobody seems to have done a TV channel about ships and wrecks. So that's where we are.
And you started, really in the ocean exploration business quite a while ago. Is that correct?
Oh, a lot older than that, Chris. I was one of those guys who was a hopeless romantic and not interested in school until I got into history. One day I went out to Israel and I found bits of pottery and marble sticking out of the side of a hill. And bingo, that was my road to Damascus moment. This is the physical face of history. So how did you get the bug?
Well, I started with my friend Mike Fletcher, who people will see in our first Sunken Lives interview. Mike Fletcher is a good friend, but I first started as a professional cameraman, and my very first job was actually filming Mike's first big shipwreck that put him on the map, a shipwreck called the steamship Atlantic. And when I was standing on the deck of his boat, watching him jump in with all of his cool scuba gear on, I thought for a moment, wait a second. That looks like fun. I want to do that. And so Mike encouraged me. I got my scuba license and I started doing some diving with him, started doing some TV programs with him. History suddenly took on new life, new meaning to me. And so it's like all of my worlds, all of my interests collided with ocean exploration, history, archaeology. And that led to the two of us talking. And here we are today launching the RecWatch YouTube channel.
Isn't that the cool thing about what we do is you don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's not that hard in many ways. You can just throw on some scuba gear, go and dive and start exploring and finding yourself and finding the ocean. We've both got many memories, which we'll be happy to share with you guys down the line.
Yeah, I'm very excited, especially about the Sunken Lives series that we're doing in talking with people like Mike. But there's so many stories. There's so many people with fascinating adventures that they've taken. And especially being over the UK, you have quite a few connections to some real old time, original scuba diving explorers over there.
Yeah, it's an interesting time to be doing what we're doing because it's kind of a tipping point. There's a sort of idea of, what have we done to the planet? Let's leave these wrecks there for future generations. And a lot of these old timers are in their 80s and 90s. We should be learning from them. We should be sharing their stories. And I think, I agree with you. In this Sunken Lives series, we're going to be talking to young kids starting their careers and people who are ending their careers in the 90s. And let's see what kind of wisdom and fun stories we can get out there.
Yeah, I think it's just as important to preserve these stories and these adventures and memoirs of these explorers as it is to preserve the shipwrecks themselves.
So what's the best wreck you've ever dived?
It is very difficult to say what the best wreck is. Each one has its own character and its own history that makes it unique and fascinating in its own right. So I'm gonna hold off and not name one right now. How about you? What has been your favorite adventure that you've been on?
So my favorite adventure is always the next adventure. It's the next big hit. But if I had to pick up a couple of highlights, many years ago, I was diving off Israel And overnight, there'd been a huge storm. And as you approach the shore in Israel, you can see these dark sort of areas where the seabed's been carved by 1,000 seahorses. And we went diving, and there was wreck after wreck after wreck. It was a car park of 12 shipwrecks, pottery everywhere, a Greek war helmet made of bronze with a moustache on it. I just started hyperventilating.
Wow. Having a chance to find this stuff and look at it helps us understand not only who we are, but where we came from. So I'm so excited about the RecWatch channel because there really hasn't been a central place to get this kind of information. And not only are we looking at, the wrecks and the explorations going on, but we're looking at the people doing the explorations. We are looking at the technology that's being developed because, like you say, this is the perfect time to be doing something like this. And the Seven Seas News. Seven Seas News is an excellent segment that we're going to be doing regularly to update all of you on what's happening in the world of ocean exploration. Technology and history and exploration are all coming together. So I'm very excited about RecWatch.
Yeah, I mean, as you say, Chris, I'm really stoked to share this with everyone. And it's going to be a 360-degree look at what happens in the world of underwater archaeology. So I think we should stop talking and let's dive in. Let's go.
Forget surfing the web. You're now going to be diving the web. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notifications bell, subscribe to RecWatch YouTube channel, and also go to the RecWatchMag.com website and subscribe for the online magazine. There's so much amazing content. You don't want to miss this. This is going to be an exciting year. Sean, I'm very glad that we're doing this. And I think there's a lot of people out there that are going to be very glad that we're doing this as well.
Let's gear up. I'll see you on the bottom of the sea. He's Chris Atkins.
And he's Dr. Sean Kingsley.
And this is RecWatch TV.